Donnie is really, really taken over. Well, and she is about to, even more so. I want us to be able to talk about the blankets and wine that's coming up. Now, for me, I have attended like 3 blankets and wines, and I remember my first one. Oh my God, I was so excited.
Yeah. Which was your first one?
I don't even remember, but I was so young. I was probably like 16, 17. And I was like, this is so nice. Oh my God. So just having you here, I'm just super, super ecstatic.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, so I want to be able to talk about the venue.
Yeah.
Let's talk about where it is happening and why Kasarani.
Wonderful. So Blankets and Wine is happening at a venue called the Laureate Garden. Like a Nobel laureate prize. The word laureate. And this is within the Moi International Sports Center complex in Kasarani. Now, I know when we talk about Kasarani, we all think of the stadium.
Yes.
Like where football or inauguration is had.
Yes.
What a lot of people don't know is that thing that we understand as the 60,000 capacity stadium is just one installation in a complex of many, many, many venues for sports and leisure.
Yes.
So there's like the way you see that thing that's called that football stadium, there's another thing like that but for swimming. That's the aquatic stadium. There's another thing like that, which is an indoor stadium, which is, where basketball, volleyball, all indoor games kind of happen. Then they have lots of grounds. I think that property is probably like 30, 40 acres by my estimation. So then they have lots of grounds that either were meant to be developed into something or, the stadium should just have gardens. That was the design. And I know about this stadium because I went to USIU and I would train with the swim team. And so we would go to this Kasarani place, and I was always struck by how big the place was.
Yes.
And then I remember my my first interaction with Kasarani actually was many years ago when I was still a baby, and my dad took us for the All Africa Games when the thing was built and commissioned. So I think of it with a lot of fondness and a lot of curiosity. So when we were thinking about our comeback, we were sure that we wanted a venue that has minimum standards. Just your venue has to meet minimum standards.
Okay.
We're now 14 years old.
Yes.
And we're like, this thing of being in venues that don't have a perimeter fence, that don't have lighting, no, forget it. There are things that as an event producer you can do.
Yes.
But there's some things, there's minimum standards that a venue should have. And so Kasarani has a lot of the things that we really want in a venue. First, it has no neighbors. It is a neighbor to itself. So we're not going to get shut down.
Yeah.
Number 2 is that it has parking on parking on parking on parking.
That is true.
And all of the parking is tarmac, and all of the parking is well lit. And we're like, oh yes.
Yes.
It has a perimeter fence. And I know this doesn't sound like anything because maybe when we go for gigs, we don't really think about that. But like a perimeter fence is your first step in being able to secure a ground. You know?
Yeah.
Because like where does the venue end and where does the rest of the everything happen?
Yeah.
So Kasarani has a perimeter fence around that whole complex. The perimeter fence has a CCTV system. And we actually, funny story, almost got arrested when we were trying to shoot the video.
Really?
It was at night. We're just cruising, we're just kind of seeing what the venue really feels like at night.
Yeah.
And then we just had 4 cars like pull up on us, popo, guns. They were like, yo,
Mnafanya nini?
yeah, and the way Kenyan cops are.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, I'm the OCS here, and I can see on the CCTV who are you people. So I'm like, oh, sorry, we had permission. We are doing the event here on 21st. And so that gave us a lot of confidence. It's like, if we have to like follow up incidences, there is a system that we can like check out,
yes.
right? Across the road from the venue, there is pretty comprehensive clinic hospital situation.
Okay.
And so that means that if we need to do emergency evacuations, or if we have emergency situations, in addition to the ambulances that we would have on site, is that you have a hospital that you can escalate things to. And like literally when you're in an emergency situation, the faster you can get to medical care, the more likely you are to, succeed in reversing the situation.
Yes.
The whole thing is gated, like there's gates,
Yeah. Security.
So what it means is that you are bringing in the security personnel.
Yes.
But the thing itself is already designed for success. The last thing is, because this is an international sports stadium, it is a government facility. They have their own police station, like literally with their own OCS.
Yes.
Because of the kind of people who end up like using it, like, inauguration, I don't know, athletes from all over the world.
Yeah.
That OCS is used to working with a multi-agency team, and that's a really important thing when you're designing security for events. Being able to work with an OCS who is comfortable with working with different, because like not all security agencies are the same.
That is true.
So we were like, God damn. Beyond that, of course, is like the acres and acres of land. Which is just like grass, trees.
Yes.
But like this is exactly Blankets vibes. And so for us, it felt like a no-brainer. We're like, yeah, we know that people are not used to, when you say Kasarani, the name recall is in this fantastic facility.
Yes.
But that's also the work of Blankets and Wine, is to put people on, is to elevate us, is to get everybody to the next level. One of the things that we've caught a lot is that people are now calling us the East African Coachella. And so we're like, you're not going to be the East African Coachella at a venue that doesn't have lighting,
that doesn't meet those standards, you're
not going to get there. That's too much effort for the producer to make that experience worthwhile for guys.
Yes.
And we want a venue that we can grow into, like we start, like in all the venues where we've gone, we start small, and then you build and build and build.
Yes.
And over a period of time, you end up filling, that space. So we're really excited to be at Kasarani, and we also know that people have this feeling like, but we don't know, is it far? And we're like, no, dude, you're on the A2.
Yeah.
Right? Thika Road is called
Kuna
the
Express.
A2. Kuna Expressway.
Yes.
Kuna bypasses. Like literally you can get to Kasarani from any side
point
of Nairobi,
yeah.
using the bypasses. And it ain't a thing.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited for you guys to have this experience and to see it the way we are seeing it, to be like, okay, okay,
this
we've been upgraded.
Yeah. We was long waiting.
We didn't know, and we didn't know what we didn't know.
So I want to be able to know why Blankets and Wine took a break.
Man, guys, pandemic.
The pandemic happened.
Pandemic. The last Blankets we had was December 2020, January 2020. No, I'm even mixing them. December 2019, January 2020. So we did 2 weekends back to back, and we had Coffee and Go Link and Sanel and like a whole bunch of amazing Kenyan artists. And then we, were really excited. We thought like, okay, Sawa, 2020, let's go.
Full force.
We're going to have Nouveau, we're going to have Blankets, going to be so amazing. Pandemic was like, nah, fam. We're going to have none of those things.
Yes.
And so we didn't try to argue with the pandemic. We believe in science. And we were like, yeah, just chill, bro.
Yeah.
Find other things to do. Be inspired. Work on perform.
Yes.
Make a film concert hybrid. Put that on YouTube. Explore what it would look like to think differently.
Yeah.
And then 2022, this year that we are in, came in, and we were quite excited at the beginning of the year, but also very hesitant because there was this weird election in the middle of the year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
And now that
God.
we're on the other side of the election, I think we forget how weird it was. There was like a moment there before the election where it was like,
Yeah, guys were like very unsure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys were like all over the place.
it's like, what's gonna
what's
really
happening?
happen?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
this thing goes sideways.
Yeah.
We've also lived through post-election
Election,
violence, so
yeah.
we actually know that things can go sideways. So we were like, between our own anxieties, corporate Kenya being like, let's wait and see. You know, you need them for sponsorship. And if they're like, let's wait and see, we're like, you're right, let's wait and see.
Wait. Yeah. we go on, just pull back.
Just like, and then on a personal level, I had a baby in January.
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
So thank you so much. I was like, fam, one problem at a time. Just first figure out this like being a mom, like keeping a kid alive thing. Wait for Kenya to do whatever Kenya is doing.
Yes.
And then we kula sherehe nicely, you know, at the end of the year. We always had the ambition to do this, to come back in Q4 of 2022. And here we are.
December
21st.
December, guys. Yani, they've come through for the Drinksember. So I'm sure a lot of people are asking about the date. Why Wednesday? Kwani, like we were so used to the Sunday vibes. You know, we don't have anything we're doing. Then, hiya. You guys have decided this is a Wednesday. Is there a reason behind this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The first and most important thing of a music festival is the music.
It is.
We really believe you deserve the best value musically. Right now, the continent is full of hot artists.
Yeah.
And we needed to land fantastic artists. So you guys can have a really good experience. And so the availability of CK from Nigeria, of Musa Keys from South Africa, of Savara from Sojourn, all these artists, Ethan Musiki, Watenda Willie. There was a real question of when are people available. And so we had to calibrate around the artist availability.
Okay.
The second thing was also the venue availability. After we found our dream venue, now when is the venue available? And there was a happy coincidence about the availability of the venue and the availability of the artists. The third thing for us is a question of summer bunnies.
The summer bunnies are in town, guys.
The summer bunnies started coming in town. And, you know, like, and maybe this is also a thing for the older you become, the more you value certain experiences. I now look at my friends who, so many of them didn't come home during pandemic. You remember, travel was crazy, it was impossible.
Yeah.
So they've been seeing and longing for home and to see and to have these experiences, to catch these amazing artists, Akina the Onirosa, Wendy K.
Yes.
And by the time they get here, which is usually around 18th, 19th, programming has closed, you know. And so they don't get to have those experiences. And I felt like this one in particular is an important one. A lot of people who are not able to come home during pandemic, this is the year that a lot of people are coming. Some people came last year, but travel was crazy, chaotic, restrictive, expensive. So a lot of people didn't actually travel. So this is the year that people are actually coming home. And for us, we wanted to give a big warm hug to bunnies and just be like, the scene is growing and like we've survived that crazy hellhole that was pandemic, you know. And then the last thing was like, it's December.
It's only right.
December. There's a point at which in December where Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Friday.
That is actually true.
The day is the day. The day. And so we thought, look, we have the best artists, we have the best venue, we have an opportunity to hook up with, you know, our diaspora family and friends.
Yes.
Can the Blankets crew take a chance and let's have the biggest midweek bash? And so here we are. On Wednesday.
I want to know, when it comes to picking the artists, how do you go about it?
They have to fit Blankets DNA.
What is that?
Blankets DNA is the music is global.
Okay.
The music is powerful when it's performed live. The artists are first and foremost artists.
Okay.
So celebrities second. So there's real talent there. It's people who have audiences. No matter how small or how big your audience, but you know, our festival is able to congregate different audiences. People who will really be a surprise for some people. It's one of the most humbling things as an artist, as big as, think who is your biggest artist now in your head?
I was just thinking of Ruga, but I don't know if he's the biggest one, but it's because I saw him on somebody's post.
Correct. To somebody, this is the first time they're ever hearing Ruga.
Yes.
So as an artist, it's a way of life that you always, and Beyonce is a new artist to somebody. There's somebody today who will discover Beyonce for the first time.
Yes.
There is somebody today who will discover Michael Jackson for the first time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we think about that a lot, that if you watch this artist and this is the first time that you're ever interacting with this artist, you're going to be left with a wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I discovered that. This is so amazing. I really love this. And that you immediately want to share it
Yes.
with somebody. And that's really our tagline at Blankets and Wine: discover, love, share. And then we think about, what does it look like transitioning from day into night, right? Because we start at 12 noon and then live music starts at 2 p.m. for real.
Okay.
So we ask ourselves, what does it feel like, at 2, at 3, at 4, at 6,
Yes.
at 8, So you program thinking like that. It's really it's a meal.
Yeah.
Right? It's
like a castata. Get to your main.
Exactly.
I want to know, how do you go about that whole programming, and how do you decide, okay, this is how we want people to experience the event?
We listen to a lot of music, a lot. I'm very right now.
Yeah.
I'm very right
I
now
like
with
that.
music. But then I don't book by myself. We actually have a booking committee. Actually, I don't do any bookings. I sit as creative director in our organization. So we propose names, there's about 4 of us on the committee, and we propose names, different artists. Then you literally put it together, like a meal, if
this
one going
comes,
into this, into this, into this. Oh no, if this and this and this. And then you have for this one we had 2 potential programming lineup. And then you workshop that with a wider team. We're a team of 10, and we kind of workshop that. You make playlists. You listen to that music on the playlist, and does it feel good? Is the playlist doing the thing that you want it to do? Does that music in that sequence, does it feel good? And then we build consensus. And then after that, you take your wish list and you put money against it. You have your booking agent reach out to people.
Yes.
You have your hat smashed 1,000 times. The artists you want may not be available on the date that you want, may not be available at the price that you want. So then you do a lot of back and forth.
Yes.
And sometimes you find that your original wish list is now in draft 4, because based on availability and cost. And then finally, when you have, these are the artists that we love, and now they're coming in at the price that we want. You do your final sort of set listing, and you say this goes into this, into this, into this, and then we share that with the audience.
What do you love most about event organizing?
That intangible feeling of joy, of camaraderie, of elevation that the audience has. When you're just this is so incredible, this is so amazing, I feel so lifted, I feel so joyous. For one day in my crazy week or in my crazy life, I've suspended that reality, and it's like you've entered into this other portal, and in this portal the energy is so lifted and is so joyous. And so for just those moments, for those hours,
You're in
you suspend suspend your reality, and you accept another reality, and you feel that you are part of something bigger.